Hey everybody, Tom here. Every time I've done a video of my arcade, I've normally had the arcade games on. I love all 12 of my original arcade machines. I mean, you gotta love them if you're going to be bringing them up that staircase and lifting them over Rusty, apparently. But they're not the focus tonight. The focus is on something that quite a few people have asked me to provide more details about, make a video, and that is my arcade one-up, Dragon's Lair, and Star Wars that I have essentially deluxeified. So I've had Dragon's Lair. I pre-ordered Dragon's Lair when it first was offered by Arcade One-Up. And I'll get into how I got Star Wars, crazy story. But I'll just do a quick walk around of both of the games and tell you about the mods that I've done and just show you everything. And I'll be reading some of it off of my handy dandy notepad because there's quite a few modifications. Okay, first just a quick walk around of both of them. They are the same height. They are 64 and 7/16. I didn't look at that number specifically, but when I built the Dragon's Lair, I did that first. I wanted to have a control deck height that was comfortable for me. I'm 5'10", and the total height of the cabinet being 64 and 7/16 gave me a really good height to be able to play the game. As you can see, both of these originally came with risers. They do not have risers now. I've essentially deleted those and added side panel extensions to them. And they're both the same height, 64 and 7/16. So I'll just start with the Dragon's Lair first. Let me adjust my video here. Make it a little smaller if I can. I don't know if I can. Okay, so the first thing that you'll notice is that the entire scoreboard is different than the original scoreboard that came with the Arcade One-Up out of the box. So the first thing is that the scoreboard overlay, I just found a local print shop for me in Tennessee to be able to print this out, and I worked with them. Like, I had to measure out where the holes were going to be cut for all the digits and exactly what I wanted to have as far as player 1 score, lives, player 2 score, lives, and credits. And I based this off of photos of the OG Dragon's Lair, and they were even able to match the font that was used on the OG Dragon's Lair. So I know that there's replacement scoreboard panels that you can get off of eBay, or you used to be able to get them off Etsy, but the font was the same as the original Arcade One-Up Dragon's Lair scoreboard font, which was not the original to the arcade game. So that is the original. The speaker covers, those are just ones that I had made. I went to a company called onlinemetals.com and I just started experimenting. I probably placed 3 orders with them before I got the covers that I wanted. These are 4.5 inches versus I think the original ones on the original game were 6 inches. So these fit and look the same as what came on the original arcade game. The rivets I got from Amazon, and the rivets are just essentially ornamental nuts that you would use for like leather work. So you would put these rivets on like here, let me show you. You get these, just essentially these nuts, and you can see they're threaded. And then I just had to find the right length, size and pitch of the threads in order to go all the way through the control panel, and not the control panel, the scoreboard overlay. So next we've got this waterfall control panel. I know that a lot of people have this one from Brian over at Mod 1 Up. Did a really great job on this control panel. You'll see something a little different on mine. I kind of worked with Brian. You can see there's no power or volume or head jack controls or switches on this panel. That's because I had those deleted. I didn't delete I only deleted the headphone jack. What I did though is I moved the start, the on off and the volume button back to behind the marquee. And the reason that I did that is, one, I wanted the marquee to look as original to the OG game as possible, but also to give me a little bit of room when I'm playing. This stick is moved up 1 inch from what was stock, what came with Arcade 1 Up and what Brian offered for his replacement control deck. But that put my the palm right on that edge, and I didn't want that. So by moving this stick up 1 inch, my palm does not sit on that curve. And the only way that we could move that up was to relocate those the switches. So I think this works really well for me. Thank you, Brian, for doing that. Really appreciate it. What else do we got here? Let's see. This also has the mystery encoder audio video sync correction. So thank you very much, Mystery Encoder, for doing that. I was able to play the game, and it really didn't bother me, but if there was a fix that it would even get this closer to the original, I wanted to be all over it. So really appreciate that. The coin door lights, and then of course the screw covers on the side. You can't see them. I got those from Retro 530. And then the edge molding. This isn't a glue-on thing. This is actually a plastic edge molding that I got from Amazon, and I'll show you that. And I did this on the Star Wars too. This edge molding essentially looks like this. So it's black on the sides, but then it grips the side of the panels. So there's no T. You don't have to cut the panels. It just kind of grasps around it. Now you can put glue on the inside if you want. Mine is just stuck on, and it grips it very nicely. And I think it looks really good. And it also covers up from the front basically the transition from the side panel extension that I created. You can look from the front and it's just a smooth transition, which works really well for my particular purpose because all of my games are sandwiched in between. This is the Dragon's Lair is between Q*bert and Donkey Kong Jr., so you can't really see the side anyway. The side panel extensions and then the front kick panel, I got, just MDF and the same size sort of paneling from Lowe's that was, close to the original Dragon's Arcade 1 Up size. And I did a vinyl wrap of these side panel extensions. You see it doesn't quite match, but it was really hard to find sort of a matte almost a semi-gloss versus a full gloss. I just couldn't find anything that was semi-gloss. So you can just tell the difference there a little bit, but the lighting has to be just right for you to be able to notice it. So yeah, absolutely love this Dragon's Lair game. I will never, ever get rid of this game. All right, moving on to Star Wars. So I think I did a lot more mods on my Star Wars cabinet. First off, let's just do a quick view of this. As you can see, I did the same, side panel extension on this one with the same vinyl wrap. I did have to take this cabinet apart, and I had to cut, actually right here is the transition line. This cabinet had a curve on it, and I had to cut essentially, I don't know, maybe a half inch off the bottom of the side panel to make this a straight, 90-degree angle right here. So I could just put the new panel in place. And I cut that first, and then I sized this panel to get me to the same height as the Dragon's Lair cabinet. I don't know, my OCD said they needed to be the same size. So here we are. So the marquee, we'll start with that first. That's Sabo's arcade marquee, of course. I think a lot of people have gotten this marquee, and it's been absolutely great. It's a game changer from the original Arcade 1-Up marquee. I did of course, the 3D raised bezel surround on this one from Maker Things Studios. The Arcade 1-Up flight yoke was fine. It was good, but I did want this to be the best version that I could make it. So I definitely went with the GRS flight yoke from Glenn at Thunderstick Studios, and I had to get an Atari sticker because that black space there was not something that I liked. So I got that the Atari sticker from Buy Stuff Arcades. The waterfall control panel from Mod 1-Up, just like the Dragon's Lair. Very, very happy with those. And let's see. This reproduction coin door. So I got this off of eBay. This is a coin door that normally you would put on an arcade, like a real arcade game, an OG arcade game. This is an Atari reproduction coin door. I actually have a couple of those on my OG arcades. Like, this is the same arcade door that's on my Tempest cocktail table. And if you come over here, it's the same one that's on my pole position. So yeah, really, really glad to get that. What else? The coin door light kit. I got that from Retro 530, but what I'm using that for, the light strip that I got from Retro 530 was actually meant to go in my Dragon's Lair marquee, because I bought the entire kit from him. But I think the Dragon's Lair marquee was fine, so I had that left over. So I just ran it down and used it to light these coin doors. And then, of course, all of the screw covers for all of these games I got from Retro 530. I did paint, although not very well. I'm off on the paint on some of my screw covers from Hobby Lobby, but I'll need to maybe darken those up. It's fine. Everything's a work in progress, right? So yeah, those are the games. I could not be happier with these things. Now, if Basic Fun comes out with a reimagined Dragon's Lair, maybe in an XL size, or Star Wars in an XL size, I'm a buyer, regardless of what I've done to these. But these are amazing, and I'm just really glad I did the mods, and just two of my favorite games from back in the day. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And wow, I did this in one take. Ugh. All right, take care, guys.